Welcome to the Marketing SOS Show. My name is Eric E. I am your host, and every week on the show, I try to be your marketing coach. So if you have marketing questions, business questions, no matter how big, no matter how small, I'm happy to take a look and try to answer them for you. Just like Carly's question this week, and I think at different points in our career, different points in our life, a lot of us will be able to empathize with how Carly's feeling today. Carly feels stuck in her current job and feels typecast and is looking for a way out. Or, more accurately, maybe looking for a way up to get that big promotion. I think that's something that we all kind of feel at certain times. You know, you feel like you're treading water, you don't necessarily know which way to go. Do you go out? Do you go up? How do you proceed with your life? Do you level up your skills? What do you do? So hopefully I can give some advice to Carly, and you'll be the secondary beneficiary of that advice right after this music rolls. Carly writes, "Hi Eric, I work for an in-house marketing team at a well-known brand in the finance industry, and I need some help getting promoted. I'm currently a social media specialist, and I'm afraid I'm being typecast as just being a social media person. Our team works on social media, email marketing, pay-per-click, and direct mail marketing. We also have a design department with a creative director and graphic designers. I haven't been exposed to many of the other areas, but I am eager to learn. How do I best position myself for promotion given that I'm not an expert in these other areas?" Well, Carly, that is a great question, and I'm going to throw a question back to you. And is there an existing position that you want to be promoted to? Does this position already exist? Can you kind of see what that person's already doing? What skills are required for that role? Focus on those now. Those are the ones you want to be developing. And if the role doesn't exist yet, look at other people's roles, people who may, in the near future, be moving on to bigger and brighter things, and try to develop those skill sets. So it's really good to have in mind an area you want to specialize in, or know what the requirements are for that promotion that you want to get. Are you on good terms with your boss? Let them know you're eager to learn and ask if there's any slack you can pick up in the department. Perhaps there's some internal training that you can go through as well. I think a lot of the times the best way to kind of move forward is kind of dip your toe into different areas. That way you kind of prove yourself slowly while still maintaining your other responsibilities and not letting those falter. Maybe you can get involved in some cross-department or cross-team projects where you're working on bigger campaigns or bigger projects that touch multiple disciplines. You can have a small hand in each one. Another good avenue to explore is to look at the size of your team. If someone's sick or they drop out or something happens to somebody, is there a backup for that person? What's going to happen if they just suddenly disappear or get hit by a bus? Perhaps it'd be a good proactive measure to ask to be trained as a backup for some of those other roles. That way, you're getting to learn them, and also you're helping the company future-proof itself. So ask to be trained as a backup, or get permission to start learning from peers. And one good thing to do here is try to get it in writing as well. So if you meet them in person, follow up with an email asking them, "Hey, just want to clarify what we met about to make sure we're on the same page, or that I'm clear, understand exactly what we were talking about." That way you can always refer back to it, because it does happen. I mean, sometimes it's not necessarily malicious, but your manager may forget the conversation you had and not remember it when it comes down to actually implementing those changes. So get it in writing as something you can kind of refer back to, not to hold over their head, but just to refer back to. Now, in your downtime at work or on your own hours, maybe you can start little projects on your own for you to learn or take training courses and read a lot online in those other disciplines that you think you want to grow into. Now, hopefully you can grow within your current company, but it's not out of the realm of possibility that you may have to go outside your existing company to get that promotion that you want. And if you have these additional skills, plus your work history, it's only going to be more attractive to other employers. Now, there are a lot of free courses online that you can teach yourself to. For example, Google has a great training program on how to learn Google Ads. It starts with a good introduction to the world, pay-per-click marketing, and paid traffic. You mentioned that your company uses email marketing. Not sure exactly how it's being used there or what software you're using, but a good free tool that you can use and play around with and start sending emails to yourself and just building campaigns is MailChimp. You can set up a free account, make emails, make lists, build campaigns from scratch, and launch them to yourself. It's a great tool that you can easily practice with for free, so I highly recommend doing it. So I think you can learn a lot about paid traffic and email marketing on your own time. You mentioned direct mail, which might be a little more difficult to do on your own. So for those that don't know, direct mail is essentially all the physical paper or physical promotions or communications that you get in your mailbox to your home address or to your apartment. So the only way to do direct mail really is, there's two sides of it. One is design, the other is printing, and I guess the third side is delivery. And it'd be difficult to do all three of those without spending your own money, which I don't think we want to do here. So up here in Canada, there's a lot of different options in terms of sending direct mail. And a lot of it's done through our national postal carrier, Canada Post, which is kind of like USPS in the States. So with Canada Post, you can do a lot of segmenting, a lot of targeting, and a lot of audience building. So you can do simple things like make sure every house in a certain postal code or zip code gets your promotional material. But Canada Post scans every single parcel that comes through their system. And they have access to a ton of Government of Canada data as well. So I know from past experience, I could segment different neighborhoods by heavy e-commerce shoppers, people who shop online a lot, age, demographics, income level, the makeup of their family, whether they have mortgages or high loans, things like that. It can get kind of creepy just like Facebook in terms of the level that you can segment. So these are definitely areas that you might not be able to do on your own without engaging like a business specialist from the postal carrier. And there are so many different aspects that go into direct mail aside from just who it's going to be sent to. You're looking at the design of that physical collateral, the copy, like the writing, the imagery, even the sizing of the paper and the texture of the cardstock. It can all play a huge importance in whether that physical piece of mail actually gets kept and read by the end consumer. So one thing that I do say a lot in this show is that it is great to know how all these pieces fit together. So I'm sure you have a good idea of how the social side fits, but do you really know how it fits with all the other pieces? Should ask your coworkers questions about their role and their duties in like subtle ways, like don't try to pry into their details too much or ask questions that are going to make them suspicious about their position or you, anything like that. But frame it more as a conversation about you wanting to learn. Maybe buy them a coffee, get out of the work environment, and just probe them with different questions about their role, saying how you want to learn more and increase your skill set. Spend time with the creative team too to learn more about how they interact with different forms of marketing. Like which forms that they deal with are the most complex to work with. Is it direct mail? Is it your social media? Which requires the most time? What could be done to make their lives better? So following these kind of tactics, this way you have a full appreciation of the workflow, and if you start stepping into the role, you can make it easier for them and be easier to work with in their eyes, which can get communicated upwards, which is never a bad thing. So Carly, I hope that helps, and I guess the moral of the story is try to reach out to your colleagues and learn as much as you can. Try to level up your skills on your own, at least to demonstrate that you have the desire to improve and learn. That will go a long way in an organization, especially to your direct manager. They'll probably feel that they can lean on you a lot more and that they're confident that you can do certain things. Now, I think that's a good lesson for everyone to kind of take, is to step back and look at where you want to be. Not necessarily where you are right now, but where do you want to be? You could be a small business owner, a student, or someone in your career. Where do you want to be in a year's time, in 5 years' time? And how do you get there? Look at that plan of where you want to be and come up with the way that you're going to achieve it. What skills do you need to get to that point? What kind of achievements do you need to do? What kind of projects do you need to launch to hit those milestones? I think that's an easy thing that a lot of us don't do, is we don't step back and intentionally plan our lives. We kind of just go with the flow a lot of the time. Now, it's kind of funny as marketers, we can sit there and plan out a couple years worth of campaigns of how we want to reposition a brand or how we want to execute campaigns over the year. But a lot of times we don't do that for ourselves. So I think it's always good to step back and kind of evaluate where you're at in life and how you're going to get to where you want to go. So thank you, Carly, again for writing in. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you for listening. And please, if you have a question, it's eric@marketingsos.ca. I'm here for you. I'll answer whatever questions you got. But until next time, take it easy.